We were in the 20th verse of Bhajagovindam. We had gone through the meaning also. Over here, the teacher is giving to us instructions, exercises, spiritual exercises which we have to perform. Spiritual sadhana for all of us. So the first 3 lines, I'll read it out again. Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita, Ganga jalalava kanika pita, Sakridapi yena murari samarcha, Kriyate tasya yamenana charcha, Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam bhaja mudamate. 3 exercises had been given to us. The first one was Bhagavad Gita kinchit adhita. At least a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita we should read. It's not just reading or listening. We have to put it into practice. Even if we put into practice a little bit, things will start falling in place when we are walking the spiritual path. We've gone through it in detail last time. Ganga jalalava kanika pita. At least a drop of the Ganges water we should partake of it, is what the teacher is telling us over here. Sakridapi yena murari samarcha. At least once in a lifetime. Why don't you invoke and worship the Lord, is what the teacher is telling us. Murari. Murari is the name of Lord Krishna. He is the one who destroyed that Rakshasa called Mura, and therefore he is known as Murari. So at least once in your life, say at least once, worship the Lord. It doesn't mean only once we should worship the Lord, only one shloka of the Bhagavad Gita we should read or listen to, or only one drop of Ganges water should go into us. It doesn't mean literally over there. Once we start all these exercises, automatically we will be able to progress. More and more of Bhagavad Gita will go into us. We will start listening to it. We will start reading it. Similarly, Ganga also, and also the worship of the Lord. It's somewhere we have to start. For all of us, there is always starting trouble. So once we start worshipping the Lord earnestly, ardently, then more and more we will be able to enter into it. Our bhakti and shraddha will get nurtured and nourished, and therefore more and more we will be able to enter into worshipping the Lord or connecting with Him through our prayer. Over here, this Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita, we thought we will go through it a little more in detail. So over here, one drop of Ganges water. Literally does it mean that only a spoonful of Ganga water we should drink and therefore it will be over? Earlier we had seen, Ganga has got lots of unique properties. We give to her the status of mother. Ma Ganga she is. She is mother to us. So when we partake of her water, which never ever becomes stale, all the other river waters, when we keep it for a long time, we can't consume it. We can't use it. On the other hand, Ganga water, we all know, we can store it for years and years and years. Still, nothing will happen to the water. So there's something very unique about her. So anything that is very unique, out of the ordinary, extraordinary, our rishis have always divinized it, connected it with the Lord, with the higher, and then they bring it into our lives. So that even in our day-to-day activities, we will be able to connect with the Lord easily through Ganga and through the other stories. So over here, one drop. What does Ganga represent? Last week itself I did say Ganga represents the flow of spiritual knowledge. Gam means higher knowledge. Ga means to move forward. So the very name, her very name, Ganga, represents for us flow of spiritual knowledge. So it just doesn't mean water, H2O. It represents that spiritual knowledge which has been maintained, nurtured, nourished by the entire Guru Shishya Parampara. So that story over there, we all know of descent of Ganga. We will not go through the entire story. I am sure many of you know it, but just a little bit. And how it connects to our inner spiritual journey. So Ganga over here represents Akasha Ganga. Means celestial she is. Beyond our reach. She was needed, her waters were needed by Bhagiratha to redeem his ancestors. So what did Bhagiratha do? He went and did tapas, performed intense tapas. His very name, Bhagiratha, Ratha means chariot. What chariot are we talking about? The body, mind, intellect complex itself is a chariot. We are all seated in this chariot. In the Kathopanishad, the body is denoted as chariot, body chariot. So in the body chariot is this being, and Bhaga means glorious. Say Bhagavan. Who is addressed as Bhagavan? One who has got lot of glories, beautiful virtues, noble gunas. So Bhagiratha over there represents a spiritual seeker. What is he seeking now? He is seeking spiritual knowledge. Where is it? It's beyond his reach. Even the intellect cannot comprehend and apprehend it. It's not available even at the intellectual level. So far away it is. That is why Akasha Ganga. So he performs penance, and then she appears in front of him and she asks Ganga, Mother Ganga appears in front of him and asks him, what do you want? He says, I want you to come down. Where? To the terrestrial plane I want you to come. From your celestial sphere. She says, I can come. But my descent will be very, very violent. From the higher, uppermost levels, region, she's coming down. She's descending down. So she said, do you even have an idea of what my Vega will be? What my speed will be? How I will be descending down? My mighty descent, nobody can take in. Mother Earth can't take in, she says. So when I descend down, the entire earth will be washed away. Everything will be washed away. Villages, towns, the people over there, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, whatever is there, everything will be completely washed away. Nothing will remain, is what she says. So he doesn't know what to do. Then what should I do? Bhagiratha asks Mother Ganga. She says, the only person who can take in the sheer force of my descent is Lord Shiva. So you now invoke him. And she disappears. So Bhagiratha again now starts doing tapas and invokes Lord Shiva, Sankara. So Sankara appears in front of him and says, what do you want from me? He tells him everything that Mother Ganga has narrated. This is what she said. He says, okay. Ask her to come down and I will receive her. Therefore, again he prays to Mother Ganga and he says, Shiva is ready to take on the impact of your descent. Mother, please come down. So we are told Lord Shiva stands over there with all his hair let loose and she descends down. And where does she descend? She descends on his head. And once she comes over there, what does Shiva do? He traps her in his locks. He mats up his hair. So in her matted locks, Ganga gets trapped over there. And slowly from there we are to, again Bhagiratha tells him, please don't do that. We need her waters. So Lord, please allow her to flow. So and now Ganga is there trapped in Lord Shiva's matted locks. So from there slowly Lord Shiva releases her. And then she flows down. And Bhagiratha leads the way. So he goes in front and Mother Ganga goes behind him. So what does this suggest to all of us? So we've already seen Ganga represents the highest spiritual knowledge. When we are not prepared for Advaita philosophy, for Sankhyan philosophy, the prerequisites are not there. Antaranga Shuddhi has not happened. Viveka we have not cultivated in us. It's there, but we are not using our discriminative faculty. Vairagya is nil in us. So therefore when we don't have the prerequisites, and if the spiritual knowledge, the highest Advaita knowledge, the Adhyatma Vidya descends into us, chances are we will not understand it as it should be understood. We will misinterpret it rather than rightly interpret it. So therefore when she comes, she says everything will be washed off. So when that highest spiritual knowledge comes, what does it do? It overwhelms a person. We are all now individuals, jivatmas, we are identity based. So nama is there, rupa is there, guna is there, kriya is there. We have a name, we have a form, we have some characteristics and qualities. Of course, we pursue some activities, and everybody around us also is just like us. When that higher knowledge comes to us, nama, rupa, guna, kriya, jagat is completely wiped out. Why? It's a world of change. It's a world of multiplicity and plurality. In that highest knowledge, there is no many. There is no plurality. There is no Dvaita also there. It's only one without a second. Which means everything is washed up. So what remains? Only Brahman remains. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Only that remains. So if we are not trained properly, if we don't have the prerequisites, and then when we enter into spiritual knowledge, this highest knowledge, chances are we will not be benefited the way we should be benefited. That's the meaning of she saying, in my descent, if I descend from there, everything will be wiped out. Therefore, what should happen? She says, she suggests that Lord Shiva come there. Shiva over there represents a yogi. He is a Parama Vairagi. He is one who has completely detached himself from everything. He is always in dhyana. So all the prerequisites are already there in him. Now he represents for us a spiritual seeker, a highly evolved spiritual seeker. Only to such students earlier Upanishads were given out. Why? They know how to receive it, they know how to interpret it within themselves, they know how to handle it, they know how to use it in their seat of contemplation. Therefore Shiva comes over there, and then the entire knowledge, Ganga, descends onto his head. In our head is our intellect. So all the knowledge comes in. So from that level which transcends the intellectual plane itself, Mother Ganga has descended to the intellectual level. So therefore we have the picture of Lord Shiva with Ganga on his head. It doesn't mean there is a woman sitting on his head. Ganga represents knowledge. All our knowledge we have in our intellect, which is our brain, which is in our head. Then afterwards, therefore now Shiva represents a Jivan Mukta. He represents for us our sages, our saints, our rishis, our guru, our acharyas. So depending on the constitution of the disciple that is there in front of him, the guru, what does he do? Slowly he lets out the knowledge which is already there in him. No two disciples are taught the same. To each one it is different. The teacher advises one disciple in this way, the teacher advises the other disciple in another way when it comes to exercises. But even the knowledge, when it is given out, the guru knows what to give out to that student, to the students, plural, also in front of him. So all the students are already over there, they have some prerequisites in them, they are already pre-qualified for this higher knowledge. So therefore, judging their constitution, physical, mental and intellectual, the teacher slowly in the discourse in the class gives out this higher knowledge to them. That is what is meant by Shiva slowly letting Ganga from his matted locks, and she pursuing or going behind Bhagirath. So the whole story over there which comes in our Puranas is very beautiful. It represents something that should be happening within us. So Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita Sakridapiyena Murari Samarcha. So how should we engage? How should we start walking the spiritual path? Slowly we have to invoke the higher, whether it is with form or whether it is the formless. But we have to connect with the higher. Without connecting with the higher, there is no way out at all for us. So therefore over here the teacher says Sakridapi Yena Murari Samarcha. Invoke the Lord, pray to the Lord is what he is saying. Kriyate tasya yamenana charcha. Yama stands. Last week itself I went through it. Yama means Lord Death. Death means change. So the realm of change can never ever have its sway over a man of realization. That's what it means. So how do we start? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamati. Now whenever the teacher tells us this, we always say, okay, we will read the scriptures. We will start reading the Bhagavad Gita. We will enter into the Puranas. We will worship the Lord. We will go for a yatra. The question is when? We always have a habit of postponing things. Such things we always postpone. Tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Now is not the right time. Now we are too busy engaged in so many worldly activities. We are hoping for some other conducive time, place, time and environment where we can start our spiritual practices. It goes on and it goes on. And by the time we realize, like Sankara says in the first shloka itself, Lord Death has already come in front of us. Sannihitam, whatever has already, it is already with us. But it comes directly in front of us. It becomes too late. Then for what happens? We have not exhausted our vasanas which we brought with us into this life. On the other hand, we have accumulated more vasanas. So in the bank, there is lots accumulated and therefore we have to go to the bank. What bank is it? The bank called Samsara. Debit is there, credit is there. It's not cancelled. It should be null and void over there. No debit, no credit, no going to the bank. So therefore, since we have not exhausted, on the other hand, we have acquired more and more vasanas. It's all there stored up. Therefore, what will happen? Sure, one more birth for us. It goes on. That is what the teacher is telling us in the 21st verse. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare bhaja govindam govindam bhaja modamate. So it never ends. It's not just one life. So many lives it keeps coming. So this life, again another life, and then again another life. What we were in the previous life, we do not know. What we are going to be in the next life, we do not know. But sure, we are going to come. It all depends on what is there stored up in the bank. So what will become our, for this life we have brought some prarabdha, which we are supposed to exhaust. In the next life, what will be our prarabdha which we will bring in our future life, even we do not know. It's all stored up there. Very difficult for us to compute. So we do not know where we will be, what we will be, how we will be. So this is the right time. That's what the teacher is trying to tell us. He says, you will get caught up in this wheel of birth and death. Punarapi jananam. Once we were already born, now we are surviving. We are going through this life. Sure, one day death will come to us. What is born has to die. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells us, sure, death for one who is born and the other way around also. One who dies, sure, will have to be born. It is inevitable, he said. So therefore, we have all been born. Now we are going through our life. One day death will come and visit us. And after that, what will happen? Punarapi jananam. Again we will come back. Punarapi jananam. Punarapi maranam. So is it once only or only twice? Punarapi jananam. Punarapi maranam. Again death. So it keeps on repeating itself. That's why it's called as a cycle. We get caught up in the cycle of birth and death. So birth happens, then death happens. Will it stop there? No. Again birth will happen. Again death will happen. It keeps on happening. Therefore, he starts with janana and again he comes back to janana. So punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Again we have to lie down there in whose womb? In the mother's womb. That also is not very comfortable. Only thing is we have forgotten everything. In the Puranas, in the Bhagavad Puran, Kapila Mahamuni is advising or giving a discourse to his own mother. That section is called as Kapila Gita. So there he says, the moment we die and then again when we come back to the mother's womb, in the womb we will be able to remember all that we have done in our previous lives, not just the previous life. And then we will sit down over there and lament. Why did I not enter into the spiritual path? Why did I not walk the right path? What made me, what tempted me? Why did I choose to walk the path of unrighteousness? Why did I fail to invoke the Lord? Why did I not enter into the study of the scriptures? Why did I not seek a guru in my life? Because of that, now again I have come back to the mother's womb. So in the mother's womb, according to Kapila Gita, we pray to the Lord. So all of us have prayed when we were in our mother's womb. Prayed to the Lord and said, this time, Lord, sure, we won't make the mistake that we made in my previous life. I won't make that mistake. We have all told the Lord, just get me out of this uncomfortable environment. Mother's womb is not very comfortable at all. So the description is there of that also, we won't go through it. So therefore, it's not at all comfortable for us. So therefore, Lord, somehow or the other, please take me out of it. And sure, this time, we have promised the Lord. Somehow or the other, you just get me out of it, and we have promised the Lord that we will sure walk the spiritual path. We will invoke Him. We will take to the right path. All those promises who did, we only have made to the Lord. But the moment we come out, Maya comes and overwhelms us. And whatever we promised the Lord in the mother's womb, we forget. All of us forgot. And then we are all where we are now. Same thing will again happen. So now we are living this life. We promised the Lord when we were in our mother's womb. Now we have come out. And here we are. Sheer materialistic, worldly life we are all living. We compromise. Spirituality we say afterwards. That afterwards will never come. So then one day death will come and visit us. Again we go back to the mother's womb. Again we are going to promise the Lord. Because there we will remember everything. So therefore this goes on. Therefore punarapi janani jatare shayana. This is to make us understand or to make us realize that we did promise the Lord that if we are taken out of the womb, then we will take to the right path. We will devote ourselves to you. Sure, we will put in all our effort to go beyond the realm of change and to realize you, to merge with you. This is the promise we have made. That is why punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Still we are where we are. Iha samsare. Therefore the teacher says, this samsara doesn't mean what we think. Our duties, our responsibilities, our shortcomings. We've still not built a house. I did not buy a four-wheeler still. My bank balance is only this. That is what we think of our samsara, our career, qualification, our work, profession, our family. Samsara means, in its largest perspective, change. That which comes and goes is known as samsara. Samsarati iti samsaraha. Samsarati, that which comes and goes, is known as samsara. Coming and going means change. Something comes and then goes means something else has come. Yesterday died, yesterday had come to us. Then yesterday went away, today came. Today morning came. So yesterday night went away. Today morning went away. Therefore today afternoon has come. Afternoon has gone away, evening has come. Today also will go, tomorrow will come. This satsang is going on. It started. It has come to us. After 5 o'clock it will go away and something else will preoccupy us. Some other activity we will take on. So that which keeps on going, coming and going, which keeps on coming and going is called a samsara. So therefore samsara itself means the realm of change. So this iha samsare, this samsara, this realm of change in which we are all in, the teacher says bahudustare. Tarana means to cross over. Dustara means very difficult for us to cross over. Bahudustara means very difficult for us to cross over. We think we can cross over, but it's not so easy at all. See, I will get out of samsara. I will not compromise. I will not get tempted. Every day, from today onwards, I will start reading the Gita. I will get up early in the morning. I will do the puja myself. See, all these things we say, but still something else will preoccupy our mind. And then all this we will just push it aside. It has been going on. We have been postponing and postponing and postponing. So our very crossing over the ocean of samsara is like an ocean. The realm of change is an ocean, not outside, inside of us. Outside change can be handled sometime. What to do with this realm of change that is there inside us? Our mind, intellect. That inner world only grossifies itself as our outer external world. So the whole samsara, the whole realm of change, very, very subtly it is there inside us. That itself objectifies itself, grossifies itself and comes in front of us as our external world of things and beings. For us to cross over this ocean of samsara, can we do it by ourselves? Not possible. Ocean it is. Ocean means we can't see the other shore at all. It's so expansive, it's so wide, and it is so deep also. So if we have fallen into the ocean, where are chances for us by ourselves to swim across the ocean and get onto the shore? Not possible unless somebody picks us up and helps us. Kulashekar Alvar says, I have got drowned. He says, I am completely down on the ocean bed. Drowned I am. Bhagavan, can you really even see me? But I know, right down I am, deep down in the ocean of samsara. Please pull me up out from there. So therefore, this realm of change in which we have all fallen into, it doesn't mean just this life. All the lives put together, whatever, from beginning onwards. So, iha samsare bahudustare. It's extremely, very, very difficult, extremely difficult for us to cross over by our own self. Therefore, what do we need? Kripaya pare pahi murare. Hey, pahi, protect me, save me. Who should come and save us? Murari. The one who destroyed Mura. Mura represents the ego in us. As long as the ego is there in us, what constitutes our ego? I-ness and mine-ness in us. Ahankara and mamakara, both put together is the ego. Of course, without I, mine will not be there. But immediately the I extends itself to become the mine. So these two, I and mine, together is the ego in us. So we have to invoke the Lord, and the Lord is the one who came and destroyed Mura. In the Bhagavad, story comes over there. Again, we can relate that story also to our own inner spiritual journey. So the Lord who destroyed Murari, hey Lord, you are the only one who can destroy the ego. The ego is so gross. Who will liquidate it for us? Only Bhagavan can come and liquidate it for us. Kill the ego in us. Completely destroy it. If we send it out to the front door, it will come through the back door. We send it out to the back door, it will come through the window. We know how subtle it is. I am very humble, I have no ego at all. We can say, the more we say I don't have an ego at all, we have a solid ego in us. So therefore it's very difficult for us by ourselves to destroy this I-ness and mine-ness that is there in us. Therefore we are invoking the Lord. Hey, save me. Pahi, 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 ma'am. Protect me. You are my sole shelter, you are. Please help me, O Lord. Kripaya. Why should the Lord help us? Because He is an ocean of compassion. We have fallen into an ocean of samsara. Therefore, we are calling upon Him as the one who has got all the compassion. Does He have only this little bit of compassion with Him? Is He miserly with all of us when it comes to showing His kindness and His compassion? No, He is an ocean of compassion. Karuna Samudra He is. Karunya Sindho. Sankara addresses the Guru in Viveka Chudamani. You are an ocean of compassion. You have enough compassion for everybody. And when you dispense off your compassion to everybody, will it deplete? No, it's still there solid. That is what is known as infinitude, infinite compassion. From infinite, if we remove anything, it still remains infinite. Purnamada Purnamidam. The definition of infinity in mathematics. Children ask, if 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 and 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, ma'am, how can infinity plus 1 be still infinity? It should be something else. No, it's not. So in the maths class, we can't make the students understand objectively. It's only when we come to the realm of spirituality, we can make the student understand infinity minus 1 is also infinity. Infinity plus 1 is also infinity. That's the meaning of Purnamada Purnamidam. Just Shanti mantra that we learn, memorize and say. What it means should sink into us. So therefore you are an ocean of kindness, and here I am drowning in the ocean of samsara. You alone can help me. This samsara doesn't seem to have any end at all. So therefore, Pahi Mam, oh Lord, save me, is what is the essence of this verse over here. And to start with that, we have to start from somewhere. Where do we start from? Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamat. This is a very beautiful incident. It doesn't come in the Ramayana, but when masters and when those who take the Ramayana discourses and talk, they use these little anecdotes and incidents to make us understand. The Setu, the bridge was being built across the ocean. Rama, Sita and Lakshmana were in the forest. Then we know Ravana came and took away Sita. So Rama and Lakshmana have come down with the help of the Vanaras. Now they have come to the end of Bharat. Hanumanji has already told them where Sita is. He's already gone, seen her, met her and come back. So therefore they have moved up to the edge of the country. Now they have to move to Lanka. So a bridge is being constructed over there, Setu. The bridge is being made with stones, huge rocks, stones and trees. So they are putting them all into the ocean over there. Huge big rocks, instead of sinking, they are all floating over there. Hanumanji is writing on every rock, Ram, 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 Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, and they are tossing it into the ocean. So all the rocks are floating. Normally a rock should sink in water. Rama is noticing this. It says, wonder of wonders, it is going, it's against gravity. Gravity means everything that we throw up, anything heavy should come down. Huge rocks they are. So when we throw them into the water, automatically they should sink. So he says, just by writing my name, these huge rocks have become very light, they are floating in water. So Rama himself doesn't know the greatness and the glory of his name. Why should he know? His devotees should know. So he says, if my name is written on the rock and then they are tossed into the ocean, if they are floating, myself, Rama, let me test. Therefore he goes to one corner where nobody is going to notice him. So he goes to one corner, picks up a grain of sand, one small little grain of sand which we can't even see. He doesn't pick up a huge pebble or a stone or a rock. One small little grain of sand. He says, if rocks with my name are floating in the water, I myself, Rama, are going to put this small little grain of sand into the water. Sure, it should float. Thinking thus, he puts this small little grain of sand into the water. He is expecting it to float, it sinks. He is quite disappointed. He is worried also how to explain it out. He is looking around. See, anybody has seen what I did? Hanumanji has seen him. Wherever Rama goes, Hanumanji will follow him. So Hanumanji sees. So Rama says to him, see what happened? It should not have happened like this, no? This should not have happened. Hanumanji smiles. And he said, no Lord, whatever had to happen alone has happened. Rama is confused. He is endorsing what has happened. Explain it to me. So Hanumanji says, you are the Lord of all the three worlds. Your hands are for saving. And you are an ocean of compassion. Kripaya pare pahi murare. So whatever reaches your hand, you should only do. Your hands are meant for uddar, for lifting up, uplifting a person. We say, lend me your hand, give me your hand. What does it mean? You give me your hand, you hold on to my hand, I will help you to come up. But sometimes, instead of helping the person up, we let loose and then the person goes down. This is what most of us do. So therefore, Lord, your hands are always for uplifting a person, for saving a person. So therefore, anything that comes into your hand, automatically uddara should happen. That little grain of sand came onto your hand. You yourself picked it up. So the grain of sand must be so happy. Bhagavan has got me in his hand. He lifted me up. Now my uddara has happened. How happy the grain of sand must be feeling. And what did you do? You released your hold on it. And it fell. When the Lord has to uplift anything that comes into your hand, if you release it voluntarily, consciously, sure drowning, is what Hanumanji says. Whether it is a grain of sand or a blade of grass, it can be anything. It can be a human being also. So you're only to do uddar. That is what your hands are meant for. So therefore, kripaya pare pahi murare. Lord, you are an ocean of compassion. I don't think you will like to see me like this, tossing about, drowned in the ocean of samsara. Please come and lift me up. For that, Bhajagovindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. 22nd verse. Ratya Charpata Virachita Kantaha Punya Vivarjita Pantaha Yogi Yoga Niyojita Chittaha Ramate Balon Mattava Deva Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamat. As a contrast to that, there in the previous one, we are seeking the Lord's grace. We are seeking His shelter, seeking His protection. Over here, the teacher is painting a man of realization. After having reached the highest, experienced that state of enlightenment, mukti, moksha, how is he moving about amidst us? Earlier it had come, yogaratova, bogaratova. Similarly, over here also, the teacher is talking about a person who is completely realized. Jivan mukta he is. The Jivan mukti state has been described over here. How is he? Ratya charpata virachita kantaha. Kantaha means that which is there on our shoulders. It can be a shawl that we have wrapped up around our shoulders. So therefore, something that we are using to put it around our shoulder. Charpata means pieces of cloth. Ratya means road. Virachita means made up of. So what is he wearing around himself? Because he needs to cover himself up. The man of realization, he doesn't even have decent clothing with him. So what has he done? When we all discard our clothes, worn out clothes, torn clothes, it will be there on the wayside road, on the road. We put it away. What do? They collect it. If that cloth by itself can be worn, they will use it. Not many holes, not many tears, they will use that itself. Somebody who has discarded it, they will use it. But if there are too many tears over there, holes over there, it's torn everywhere, they can't use it. What will they do? They will stitch them all up. So bits and bits of different cloth bits, which have been all extracted from what? From the worn out cloth that we have discarded. When we discard the clothes, little patches which are all complete by themselves, not torn over there, there is no tear. What will they do? They will take all these pieces of cloth and then get it all they will themselves stitch it up. That is actually called as a godadi. Nowadays we have these razais and all which comes in that pattern. Razais, patches over there, different square patches or rectangle patches, different designs, each one so different from the other. It's not a continuous design, it's not a continuous weaving at all. So patches of cloth are stitched together. So design may be different, texture may be different, the texture of the cloth, everything may be different. But colors will be different. One is white in color, one is blue in color, one is light blue, one is dark blue, one is red, one is pink, green, etc., etc. So all those bits of cloth they will collect and stitch it up to make it into a complete shawl, which they can use around themselves. See, minimum over there. No demand at all from the society. They don't even go and beg for a shawl or for some clothing. Whatever the society has discarded totally, means it's not usable, I don't want it, completely discarded, that they will use for themselves. It just shows bare minimum over here. So whatever has been discarded onto the roadside, these pieces of old cloth, they will stitch it up and make it into a shawl and they will use it. It just shows the vairagya over there, the detachment over there. Punya punya vivarjita pantaha. And what are they? They are walking the path. Panta means walk, path. What path are they walking? They are walking the path which is beyond merit and demerit. We are all people who are walking the path of punya or papa, merit or demerit. Whatever motive comes into our head, intellect, whatever thought comes, desire comes, good or bad. So desire comes in the intellect, then it transforms itself into a thought at the mental level, and that itself turns out to become an activity or an action at the physical level. So the activity may be good, the activity may not be good. Depending on that, the karma pala also will come to us. If it's a good action, because behind it was a good thought, behind it was a good desire and motive, the karma pala also will be good, merit, punya. If the activity is not good, it's because the thought was not divine. It was because the motive was not divine. Why? Desire was selfish. So the karma that comes out of us also will not be good. Therefore, the karma pala also will be negative. So therefore, merit and demerit. So we are all guided by this merit and demerit. Anything that we do in our life, in the house, outside the house, wherever we are, in our office, in the marketplace, in the puja room, in the kitchen, wherever it is, every activity of ours is governed by motive, desire, thought. Accordingly, the karma pala also will come to us. It may come immediately, it may not come immediately. The action that we have done now, its karma pala for some reason may take more time to mature, to yield its fruit. That karma that we have done today, right now, it may take more time to mature and become a karma pala. Fruit has to ripen. It may come after 10 janmas. Therefore, the karma that we have done now, if the pala is going to come after 10 janmas, we have to come 9 more times, then the 10th time, to go through the karma pala whose karma we did when 10 janmas earlier. So the rules are very, very strict. So constantly we are governed by Shubha and Ashubha, Papa and Punya, merit and demerit. And this is what is leading our lives. In the case of a Mahatma, since he is in the state of actionlessness. Jivan Mukta he is. Means total freedom, absolute perfection. He is reveling in the state of actionlessness. Even though he may be performing action, he will be performing action. All our master, they establish organizations, institutions. They are very, very active, more active than all of us. So activities are flowing out through him, but where is he rooted in, or where is he established in? He is established in the state of actionlessness. Action comes because of thought. So if he is in a state of actionlessness, he has reached the state of thoughtlessness. Thoughts are because of our desires. So if he has reached the state of thoughtlessness, he must already be reveling in the state of desirelessness. Our desires are because of our vasanas. Vasanas prompt the desires. So if he has reached the state of desirelessness, he should already be established in the state of vasanalessness. In spite of him working maybe 20 hours per day and he is there amongst us. But where is he rooted in? He is rooted in the state of vasanalessness. As a consequence of that, or because of that, he is at one and the same time established in the state of actionlessness. Therefore, for him, what papa, what punya? He is not voluntarily, willingly doing any activity because no thoughts which he can identify for himself. There is no I in him. There is no mine in him. So, therefore, thoughts for whom? Desire for whom? He has completely transcended vasanas. He has crossed over, transcended the vasanas. Therefore, there are no vasanas in him. That's how he has become a Jivan Mukta. Therefore, there is no I-ness or minus when he is engaging himself in the field of activity also. Then who is performing? Bhagavan is performing through him. He never ever claims and says, I am doing this. But sir, we see you performing actions. Actions are coming out through him. It's like overflowing through him. Therefore, somebody should take charge or take account for the activity that is coming out through this person. He says, I am not doing it. Who is doing it? Bhagavan is using that equipment because it's an empty equipment. No I, no mind, no ego. Bhagavan is using it for his own purpose. Therefore, no activity is coming out of him which has got the tag of I and mine. Therefore, the karma pala also naturally will not ever be tagged along with him. Therefore, where is punya for him? Where is papa for him? Completely he has left them. He has transcended them and he is walking that path. Punya vivarjita panta. So, many activities may come out through him. All for the sake of the society, for our welfare and well-being. But nothing can ever touch it. Motive is not his, desire is not his, thoughts are not his, activities are also not his, karma pala is also not his. Therefore, merit and demerit, where are they for him? It's not there at all for him. Yogi, such a person is called as a yogi. Yogi, yoga, niyojita chittaha. Within himself, he is completely balanced. Because no papa, no punya, no merit, no demerit. What is that state that he is reveling in? He is reveling in the state of equanimity. Calm he is. Composed he is. Within himself, he is totally tranquil. Krishna says in the 2nd chapter, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, he says. Just to arrive at the state of equanimity within ourselves, a state of neutral equilibrium, that itself is yoga, says Krishna. This Jivan Mukta is reveling in that state, where within he is absolutely balanced. Let anything happen. Put him anywhere, any time, any place, any situation. Nothing can happen. Within himself, there is not a ripple that gets created in him. If we can say that, we can attribute to him a mental lake because he has gone beyond mind and intellect also. Not a ripple in him. He is totally balanced. Within and without he is balanced. Such a person, ramate, he revels. How does he revel? Balon mattava deva. He revels just like a child or just like a mad person. Doesn't mean he is mad or doesn't mean he has become very childish. It is not childish, it is childlike. He is not a mad person like. Both of them, a child and a mad person, they are completely cut off from the past. They are completely cut off from the future also. For them all it is here and now. And they are reveling over there. Completely. All of their mind is over there, total 100%. That's how a child is. So it means childlike. over there. No past for it, no future for it. It's completely reveling in the present over. It doesn't drag the past. It doesn't think of the future. 100% it has given itself to the present, whatever it is doing. Therefore, childlike. A mad person, he is reveling in his own world. He's got his own thoughts, he's got his own activities doing. He's not worried about anybody, environment, nothing he is worried about. What happens, what is happening around him, about him, to his own body, he is not conscious of it. He is reveling in his own world which he has created within himself. Similarly, a person over here, they have realized that highest state, God's state of consciousness. They have realized, they have become merged with it, identified and merged with it. They have experienced it, and they are living that experience every moment of their life, and therefore they are reveling. So, therefore, an example over here, Ramate Balon Mattava Dev. They are reveling and reveling within themselves, just like a child would do, or just like a mad person would do. Mad person would do. Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamat. So again over here in the next verse, 23rd verse, the teacher is advising us to inquire. He is putting us onto the path of spirituality. How can we reach that state wherein this person has reached? He has become a Jivan Mukta, an enlightened person. How can we reach that state? We have to start by inquiring. How should I start my inquiry, sir? If we ask the teacher, here is the answer. Kastvam koham kuta ayataha kame janani kome tataha iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram vishvam tektva swapna vicharam bhajagovindam govindam bhaja mudamat. And it's an exercise given to us. Where do I start from? The teacher is telling us, Kaha Tvam. Start from who are you. The moment anybody asks who are you, immediately we know what answer will come out from us. Our name. Don't you see me standing in front of you? And then our kula, gotra, caste, creed, everything will, what we have studied, where we are working, what is our financial status, where am I residing, our address, everything will immediately come out. That is not what we are to inquire about. That we all know about ourselves. Who is this person? Who am I? To whom all these paraphernalia are attributed to. Somebody has been given a name, our names, which we were given by our parents during the Namakarna. Somebody has been given a name. If there was nobody existing, then to whom would they have given the name? So somebody was there. In the beginning we were nameless. When we came into this world from the mother's womb, we were nameless. Then Namakarna ceremony happened for all of us. Before that we were nameless. Then only slowly form also. Earlier, what form? Even when we are in the mother's womb, mother doesn't know what form we are going to come out with. So where is name, where is form, where are characteristics and quality, they all get built later on. So therefore the teacher is saying, investigate into who you really are. Ramana Maharshi says, investigate into the I, capital I. That capital I is getting so many characteristics we superimpose onto that capital I. And therefore that capital I becomes the small I, Jivatma, with Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya. The teacher is saying, leave that Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, which means discard the small I. The moment we discard the concept of small I, capital I will be there. Because we are not nothing, we are something. To that something, many things have got added. The teacher said, leave all that which has been added and then try to see yourself as you are, not as what you have gained in your life. So therefore, Kaha Tvam, who are you? The teacher is telling us over here, who are you? Kaha Aham, who are you? Who am I? We have to investigate into it. 𝐜𝐭𝐡, from where did we come? It doesn't mean, oh, we all came from the mother's womb. How did we come over there? Father is responsible, mother is responsible, fine. But from where did we really come? And here we are with a name, form, etc. Where will we ultimately go away? Question mark. What will happen to us afterwards? We do not know. That's what the teacher is asking us to investigate into. Sit down and investigate into it. Who are you? Who am I? From where did I come? Kame janani kome tataha. Who is my mother? Who is my father? Father and mother are the source. So it's not inquiring into who is your mother, who is your father. We all know our father's name, our mother's name. But they also came because of their father and mother. So there is some source over there. So, Kame Janani Kome Tataha mean who is your father? Who is your mother? Mean what is your source? Because we are all here because of our source. What is the source? Parents. Is that our source? Previous birth, who are our parents? Next Janma, when we come again, who are going to be the parents? So parents will change, but there is one source, and because of that this is continuing. 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, you are all a ray of me, he says. I only come and go, I only come and go, he says. So therefore, who is your mother? Who is your father? Means what is the ultimate source from which we all have come? From which at least I have come. The teacher says, inquire into it. Iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram. Think on these terms, is what the teacher is telling us over. Like this, keep on inquiring, inquiring and inquiring. When we start inquiring, all of this samsara will come to us. Even when we think of Krishna, 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 Krishna's sweets, that sweet shop that is there will come into our mind because of association. If we say Rama, Rama, Rama Prasad, the milkman did not come today. So association. Therefore, the teacher says, when you are thinking of all this Sarvam Asaram Vishwam, this entire dynamic world of things and beings, including our own body, mind, intellect. He says, it is all that Vishwam, Sarvam, all. So not only the external world, but even our body, mind, intellect. That's also a mini world we are living in. It's a city we are living in. Sarvam Asaram. It is all without any essence. There is no sara in it at all. There is no substance in it at all. There is no value in it at all. Do you want to keep anything that doesn't have any value at all? No sara in it at all. Nothing it has got. It's just null and void. It looks like gold, but it is not gold at all. Do we want to keep it? No, we don't want to keep it. So therefore he says, investigate into Sarvam Asaram Vishwam. Everything is so essenceless, devoid of essence. There is nothing in it, no substance, no value, nothing worth running after. Therefore, Tyaktva, give it all up. How should we give it up? Sir, we can't give it up. Don't we give up our dreams that we had last night? Swapna Vicharam. Good dream or a bad dream. The moment we woke up, we dropped it. We never felt bad to drop it. Oh, it's such a nice dream. Because in that dream, I studied and I passed the 10th for a student. I got this much. In the dream, I built a house. Will we still hold on to the dream because in the dream we built a house? We drop it. It's got no value. It's got no substance. It just came and went. It's an imagine. It was all in my mind. Imaginary it is. It doesn't really exist at all. So just as every day when we get up in the morning, we drop off our dreams so beautifully, instantaneously, spontaneously. Nobody need tell us. No, bad dream I will drop off, good dream I will hold on to. All dreams we just drop off and we don't turn back and look at them at all. Like that, Bhagavan says, think of this end. Even our waking world now, according to the teacher, is a long, long dream. from the highest standpoint. Not for us now. Now for us, our waking world is solid, real for all of us. But he says, start like, just as you drop off a dream, drop it all. Consider it all as a long, long dream. Which one? This Vishwam. It is all Sarvam Asaram it is. Whatever we are running after, finally we will realize that it has got no value. That it has got no substance at all. But we went behind it, thinking that we will get real happiness from it. Our lives will become complete. Our lives will become fulfilled. Like Sita ran after the golden deer. A real deer can never be golden. A golden deer can never be real. All that glitters is not gold. There was no substance in it. There was no value to it. But right now, it was there in front of her, and she wanted it. So then we know what all happened afterwards. So the entire Ramayana is being enacted within us. We should be able to connect ourselves with all the little incidents that are happening in Ramayana. Ramayana is not outside. It's an inner spiritual journey for us. So therefore the teacher says this entire Vishwam, this entire external world of things and being, including our own equipment, he says, consider it all as asara, devoid of essence. Because if we feel it has got value, if we feel it's got substance, then we cannot drop it. So consider it all or investigate into it. See if it's got value, see if it's got substance, see if it really gives you happiness. It doesn't. Then it is all asaram, sarvam. He says, tyaktva. Just drop it all. Like how you drop the dream. Every day we drop the dream. Like that, drop it. And what should we do? Enter into inquiring into our own true nature. Our own true nature. Who am I? Who is it? Once we start inquiring into who am I, everything will fall into places. From where did I come? What is my source? Where am I heading towards? And therefore, start invoking the Lord. He says, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate.